I welcome you back to Pastor B's Kitchen Table. I thank God for you. This is Friday again. I told you every Friday we're going to be right here at the kitchen table and chopping it up, breaking it down, and putting it back together again. Here at the kitchen table is where it happens. You know that. And we call it the kitchen table because at the kitchen table is a place we talk about serious things that need to be addressed. And so we're happy today to have a guest with us today, and I'm telling you, a tremendous guest, our sister Carla Lane. Carla, will you say hello to our audience, please?
Hello, and thank you so much for having me.
Amen, amen. Carla, in such a time as this, it is such an honor to have you as our guest. You are a plethora of knowledge, and you've got a great track record. You've done so much, so much. So just tell us who you are, Carla.
So I am Carla Lane. I'm president and CEO of Lane Staffing, which is the largest African-American female-owned employment solution provider in the Southwest, which what that means is I help people find jobs. I connect people with opportunity and opportunity with people. And I also am the founder of This Woman's Work, which is a nonprofit geared towards women to help them live amazing lives. We have a mentoring program for high school girls, for women. I have a clothing closet to get people dressed for work, a book club. And so we're busy helping people to live the life of their dreams.
Amen. And Carla, how many years have you been in business?
I have been in business on my own since 2007, but staffing is the only job I've ever had. I started working in staffing as a sophomore at the University of Houston, and I actually bought that business after working there for 12 years. I bought that business. So I've been in staffing since I was 19 years old.
Wow. And Carla, in your history of staffing, have you ever seen anything like what we're dealing with right now?
I have never in my entire life seen anything like this. And I have what I call my kitchen cabinet, which is the people that I go to when I don't have the answers. Yeah. And these are like some old school business people, and they have never seen anything like this ever.
Yeah. This is just what it's doing, certainly globally, what it's doing nationally, and certainly also locally, because, for a long time, Houston was a place to be. And if you figure you're here in Houston, especially in oil and gas, you kind of got it made. But we've seen a great reversal also. Carla, can you just tell us, first of all, what do you see out there now? What's going on in the market industry right now and in the job market?
It's a very interesting time because not only are we dealing with COVID-19 and the fears associated with that, but then we've got this reemergence of the civil rights movement, which is amazing. But the timing of the two is an interesting time because their businesses are looking to be more diverse. They're looking at their cultures. They're looking at what they didn't get right because now they're being called on it. So it's an awesome opportunity. But the flip side of it is a lot of businesses are afraid of the economy and increasing headcount. So what we're seeing, our clients that are hiring are clients that are hiring to mitigate the damages of COVID-19, meaning we're working a lot with cities and states and counties who have to mitigate damages to the courthouse. So when you walk into a courthouse, there's somebody who is testing you for a temperature where that job did not exist first part of March. Or now we've got epidemiologists who are testing blood and trying to see what's in this blood and and the research associated with that. So we can't get enough epidemiologists. Contact tracing, contact tracing wasn't a big deal then. I don't think in my entire time working in staffing, I ever even had anybody ask me to find a contact tracer. But now I need 38 of them.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting time. And of course we need cleaners. Everybody's talking about the nurses and the doctors that we definitely need, but think about the people in the hospital that are doing the cleaning. They are essential workers.
Yeah, that is so true. So Carla, where are you finding your employees at, or your employment base?
So we are, the interesting thing about my business and the way that it grew so quickly, is that I'm a church girl, I'm a preacher's kid. And so we community people.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to find people in my community that want to go to work. Okay. And I love Houston. So the opportunity to talk to you for me is amazing because I want your people to come to Lane Staffing so I can put them to work. Yeah. That's how we find people. I go on social media and I say, hey, I need 48 people to come do this tomorrow. And people start calling. So we use all the traditional routes too, like, LinkedIn and ZipRecruiter and all of that. But I get my best leads for amazing people from people that I know.
Amen. Amen. So Carla, we have people that are watching now, and they watch every week, and some of them are looking for jobs right now. So you're saying they could just contact you, contact your office at Lane Staffing.
Right. Go to lanestaff.com and apply online, and then call us at 713-522-0000. And we want to put you to work. We want to help you with your resume. We want to tell you where the jobs are in Houston. And we work all over Houston. We work in Dallas. Off the top of my head, 6 other states: Oklahoma, Mississippi, Louisiana. It's a couple of them. But we are a community-based organization. And like I said, if you need clothes or help to go to work, that's what we do. Every day we're helping people in the community go to work, and we place everything from janitorial to nurses and IT professionals, bankers. So we are a full service firm.
Amen. Amen, Carla. So Carla, what are you seeing that works and doesn't work for these potential new hirees?
It really depends on what a person is looking for.
Right.
So, one of the things about my generation and having a daughter who is always wanting to start out she thinks she'll make $50,000 a year out the gate. That's not how that works. So we're realistic about our skill set and what our skills will bring in the marketplace. Because when we think about employment, we really have to think about it in terms that you are offering your talents for sale. So that employers put a value on your talent, and then you accept their price, which is your salary. It's a give and take. And so what are you bringing to the marketplace, and are your talents in line with what you want to make? And if not, the awesome thing about what's going on right now is there are tons of online classes that are free for you to enhance your toolbox, because what you're selling is what you know how to do. Yeah. And that's how I get paid, is that I say, okay, these are your talents. This is what it's worth in the marketplace. And then I pair it with my clients. And then my clients pay me for finding people. Yeah. So the person looking for a job doesn't pay us anything. Doesn't cost anything to apply for a job at Lane Staffing. The companies pay us.
Wow, that's good to know, because people would think that you have to come and guarantee you so much money. You say, but no, you already have the network. You already have the connecting points.
Right. I have the clients, the companies that have said, Carla, we want Lane Staffing to find us amazing people. Use your community of people to find us great people to do this work to make our businesses better. So they pay us. And it is in my best interest to get people that come into Lane Staffing ready for the interview, ready to go to work, ready to stay. So there's some coaching that happens when you work with a staffing firm too. You've got an ally in this, especially if you are transitioning from one type of employment to another. If you're a retiree and have decided you want to go back, if you're a young person and you're looking for work and you need coaching, staffing companies are an amazing resource.
Wow. Carla, now, what about these individuals who have been working at great jobs, white collar jobs, making $100,000, $150,000, and they got furloughed and then they got released? So they're out there and they got a ton of experience. They got great salaries, some great golden parachutes. What are you doing with them?
I think the thing to remember is to be very realistic. Because when you work somewhere for a while, there's some built-in kind of your salary has increased over time because of your value to that organization. So there's some instances where you may have left one opportunity making $150, $250, but to begin another opportunity, you're going to have to come in at a different rate. And then once you get into that organization, they can see your value, increase your salary like that. The other thing I would say is when you worked in an industry for a while, it's probably a part of different organizations. Those are resources. And I know when you're looking for work, it's a very humbling experience. But your network is your resource. And the amazing thing about when you open your mouth and you say you're in need, good people show up. So use your network.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's good, Carla. That's a good word. Very good word. I like that. Carla, now here's an area that I want to attack with you quickly. Tell me about these college graduates. We've got these college graduates who went and did what mom and daddy said and what their advisors said. And now they're coming out and they've got student loans, they got car notes, they're going to soon have apartment notes. And as you said about your daughter, they need 125 to start. So what are you telling these college graduates who are out there now beating the pavement?
The biggest thing is, one, let's have an amazing resume. So while you're in school, before you graduate, learn how to do something.
That's a novel idea.
That's learn how to do something somebody will pay you for.
Yeah.
Because I understand that, you get, like me, when I was in college, I worked as an accounting clerk. Well, I ended up buying the business that I worked as an accounting clerk in. My parents didn't let me go get a job at a fast food restaurant or at the mall. Nothing wrong with that. But when you start building your resume, you want to work in the industry that you want to work in, so that when you graduate, there's some track record. Yeah. And then the other thing that happens is you develop relationships in that industry. And most good people want to mentor young people. So like right now, my daughter's animal science. She, before COVID hit again, the second wave, she was interning at a vet clinic, and this vet is going to write her letter to get into vet school. So she's developing a rapport. Yeah. It is what we have to do. And I think a lot of times in our community, we don't always do that because we're so focused on getting to the end. But part of, I think, the collegiate experience has to be you learning that what you're studying is what you actually want to do. Yeah. Because I wanted to go to law school, but I could not imagine not doing what I do for a living. Yeah. Yeah. I probably would be miserable not being able to move around and do the things that I do every day had I gone to law school and just I thought I wanted to be a corporate lawyer because I like numbers. Right. I love people too, but that self-discovery allowed me to figure that out. And I think that's really important for our children to know, to develop that. And if you graduated from college and you don't have experience, understand that you're probably going to have to take an entry-level position. Mm-hmm. But if you're good at what you do, people will recognize talent, you develop relationships, and you'll move forward, but you have to be patient and put in the work. And I think that's something we forget to explain to our children, that a lot, you got to put the work in so that people can recognize your talents. It's not just you're not just going to get a participation ribbon when it comes to employment.
Amen. Amen. You won't get a participation ribbon. That is so true. There's, I always talk about, we've kind of raised a lot of our children in the suburbs. And so in the suburbs, they're kind of used to driving these import cars. They're kind of used to living in these 4 or 5 bedroom homes. They're kind of used to a certain lifestyle that's really not theirs per se, it's their parents. Mm-hmm. And yet once they step out from under that arc of safety and they're out there, it's like, I'm not going to settle for anything less than this. But we had to progress to that. We didn't start at that. And so you had to kind of put in the grunt work and the grind to make it happen. And so that's a very, very good word. So you're telling a college graduate that to pursue something that you really enjoy, make the connections while you're there, build your resume, build your network of relationships. And so now for those who are out right now, they're out. Explain what you mean by you may have to take an entry-level job.
So entry-level positions, like I said, my degree is in accounting. And so if I was graduating today, I may have to take a staff accounting position or a financial analyst position that probably pays about $30,000, $32,000 a year, which is $15, $17 an hour, somewhere in there. And that sounds like not a lot of money when you can go make $12 at the mall. But understand this, that 15-17 isn't just 15-17, because if you're working with a larger organization, there's some benefits associated with it. There's some networking associated with it. You're going to bump into people on the elevator. So that $15-17 is not really just $15-17. The important thing is to be very wise and budget. Yeah. But also to be very active and to volunteer and to work on projects so people can see your talent and then to apply for other jobs while you're there, because there's a lot of hiring that happens within large organizations that never make it to the job boards, that never make it to the staffing companies.
Amen. Very clear. Carla, you're so optimistic regarding even the environment, because you hear so much now, it's so doom and gloom and so much negativity about the culture we're in, the times we're in, especially as it relates to employment. I've heard from employers who are talking about they got people who don't want to come to work, and yet they want you to pay them for not coming to work. And so some are saying, well, I don't feel safe in that environment. And yet when they're not at work, they're in every other environment. So they're kind of being deceitful with that. What are you saying to your potential employees regarding this issue of being in these work environments right now?
I think we have to be cautious. We have to be very cautious, and employers need to be cautious. Mm-hmm. Employers need to provide PPE for their employees to make sure that they're as safe as they can be. But we are living in very dangerous times. But the good news is that it's gonna one day be over. Yeah, that's amen, all. Amen. And in the meantime, there is honor in a day's work, a hard day.
Yeah, Carl.
And so, if you choose, if you have some kind of health thing where you don't want to risk it, I understand that. But there are work from home jobs too. So I've got a couple of companies who have created situations so people can work from home. Okay. So, even though unemployment pays this and pays that, and I understand it because it is needed. But I think also if you cannot have that gap on your resume, if you can stay busy and work, I think that it also is good for your mental health. Most of us if you saw what's behind this Zoom, all the papers that's here, there, and everywhere, it is what's keeping me sane in this being trapped in the house and having a mother that's an elder and all the stuff that, mentally happens. But work is a good thing, And we have to remember that, because like you said, if you just watch TV all day, one, your skills are eroding. But then when it's time for you to go back out to look for jobs, you got to interview and you got to sell yourself. And it's hard to do when you're miserable. So let's just get these jobs, go to work and power through.
You're miserable, that's right.
I mean, it's just hard. That's what the interview is. You are telling a company why they need you, why they need to spend their money on you.
Yeah. Carla, could you just kind of dovetail a little bit into entrepreneurship? Because there are some individuals, I'm sure you encounter them, they don't really work on it. They really don't desire to work for anyone else. They really want to take the same leap of faith that you took. And so what do you say to those who have that entrepreneurial spirit?
I would say, one, I believe that entrepreneurship is a gift. Just like some people can sing, some people play instruments, some people dance, it is a gift. And it is and the thing about entrepreneurs is that most of us have mighty big egos, because when you think about it, for you to believe that you could put something out to market, people will want to buy it, and people will come to work and trust that every other week you're going to have a check for them. You got a big old ego. So you got to look at who you are and what you want to do and figure out and again, you're a pastor, I'm preacher's kid. I believe that God gives you purpose. And I think your entrepreneurial endeavor will be a part of your purpose. And purpose is so big because when you have purpose, God provides provision. So you have to go put it out there, and you have to believe that you're walking in what is for you. And that means that you prepare. So it's like a whole bunch of P's go into that. And that preparation means that you don't just know how to, let's say you're a plumber, you don't just know how to fix a toilet or a sink or a dishwasher, but you go and put in the work so that you understand cash flows. So you understand what your bank statements need to look like, what kind of starting capital you need to have. And again, online, people are giving away this instruction now because everybody's in their house. So you go and you fortify yourself so that you're ready to make that leap, because it is a leap. It's a huge leap. And the funny thing is, my friends always go, girl, you don't have to go to work and da-da-da-da. Well, honey, I work 16 hours a day.
Amen.
When I worked for somebody, I maybe work 8.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I would just sit there and listen to music.
Yeah. Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
but when you work for yourself, it is do or die.
That's right. Do or die. That's right.
Because
That's right.
you're basically right now, I'm basically unemployed.
Yeah.
Because I have to pay my employees first.
Yeah.
And I get what's left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is amazing when there's a lot left.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when there's nothing left,
Yeah, Carla, that's right.
It has a purpose that makes you keep going. Otherwise, you'll just quit. I got an accounting degree. I can go downtown and count.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's your purpose that keeps you going in the times when it's lean. And I think that's the first part of entrepreneurship, is knowing that that's who you are, and then figuring out what it is that you're supposed to do.
Amen.
And then aligning that with your preparation and knowing that God is going to make provision and being wise about it. Because business is a nuts and bolts put on paper kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And you can't just wave a wand and it be so. And in the environment that we are in, lenders are being very, very tight-fisted with lending money because the interest rates are so low. They're not making money on lending you money.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So it's a time to, as we're quiet and we're sitting in our houses, it's a great time to think about what it is that you really want and why do you want it. That's another thing I always tell entrepreneurs, to ask yourself, why do you want to do this? Yeah. And then think about your answers. Really, tell the truth. Yeah. Yeah. Because if you want it because you want to be rich, it is very likely you will not be.
You will not be rich. That's right. That's right.
Most entrepreneurs don't even turn a profit.
Yeah. Wow,
you
Carla.
Just do because they allow.
Yeah. That is truth what you're speaking, Carla. Because many start with the paycheck. I'm gonna make all this money, but it's your purpose. What has God called you, prepared you, gifted you for? What has God put in your spirit? Because if it's simply just as I want to make money, I want to ride this kind of vehicle, that won't hold you, because in everything that God sends you to, there will be lean times. And so unless you unequivocally know that God sent you there and God has a purpose for you, you're going to sell yourself to the highest bidder, whatever that means. And so you got to be, and I always say it because so many entrepreneurs, they're kind of bored with some people are bored with their jobs. They just assume, well, now I must be an entrepreneur. Not necessarily. It could mean that you're a terrible employee.
And need to go see Lane Staffing so I can check you.
Yeah. They come see so you can check them out and see what's going on. It may not be a problem with the job. Maybe a problem with your work ethic that we need to deal with here. So Carla, oh my goodness, that's awesome. I was thinking about it in Thessalonians when Paul talks about 2 Thessalonians 3:10, if a man don't work, he shouldn't eat. He said there's something honorable about work. God is a worker, and God intends us. There's something about a good, hard, honest day's work. And we've kind of lost that for some, because no one's going to give you anything, not without taking something back in return. And that's the reality of how this life works. Carla, you got the last word there. You've said so much so fast. There are people who are watching you and will be watching you, Carla. What's your closing word to them?
I think that the most important thing for all of us right now is hope.
Yeah.
And, one of my favorite verses that I misquote all the time because I make it very personal. Yeah. I always say that God has plans for Carla, plans to prosper her and give her hope in a future. And so my last word would be, God has plans for us that love him and that are called according to his purpose. And so if that is you, know that God has plans for you and they are to prosper you. So let's just keep pushing. Let's be joyful and let's be optimistic, and call Lane Staffing so I can help you. Yeah. But also check out the job boards, do some research, sign up for those classes, make yourself valuable either for an employee or employer or for yourself if you want to be self-employed, because you got to have the right tools if you want to build. Amen.
Carla, is there any age in which someone is too old to contact Lane Staffing?
That is against the law. Job discrimination.
That's right.
But you must be 18. You must be 18 and want to work.
Amen. 18 and want to work. That's right. We can't discriminate. Someone needs to hear that. Hear that. That's why, Carla, God bless you and thank you oh so much. Give us that phone number one more time, please.
It is 713-522-0000, or go online at www.lanestaff.com. And then again, the mentoring portion of what I do is called This Woman's Work, and that is thiswomanswork.biz. Mentoring, book club, clothing closet. We are here to support our community because the community has been amazing to us.
Amen. Amen. Well, there it is. You've heard it. This is the kitchen table. I know you got some NIM, Mama NIM and Daddy NIM that you need to go talk to let them know that there's an opportunity. There's a lady here that God has sent who's willing to coach you, to train you, to encourage you, to speak to your spirit, but at the same time to show you the right connecting point that you may be able to get back into the workforce or to be in the right place in the workforce. So I'm going to encourage you to tell somebody what you heard today. And I look forward to seeing you again right here at the kitchen table next Friday. We're going to break it down and chop it up and tell God and tell somebody about what God is doing. You call Sister Carla. She's waiting to hear from you right now. May God bless you. May God keep you. And I'll see you next week.